The shooting affected not only the city, but also really impacted our Hmong American community.
Fresno Police Chief Andy Hall talking about 6 arrests in a quadruple murder that left the community stunned. The victims, Sai Li, 23, Phia Vang, 31, Ku Zhang, 38, and Kalixang Tao, 40, were all gunned down as they watched football. Billy Zhang for mail theft, finding a Glock 9mm modified to fire automatically and 2 30-round magazines that have been linked.
In Fresno, a man is in custody accused of shooting 2 veteran Fresno correctional officers inside a jail lobby. Those 2 officers were shot in the head and neck this morning, and they're now in the hospital. Juanita Davila, who has 18 years of experience, is now in critical but stable condition tonight. And Toa Malama Scanlon, a 10-year veteran, is in critical condition. And this man, 37-year-old Tong Vang from Fresno, has been taken into custody. Officers say Vang was sentenced to 19 years in prison for kidnapping. And back in 1998, he served only 16 years, then was released on parole.
The Mongolian Boys Society is a predominantly Hmong street gang rooted in Fresno, California. Formed in the late 1980s, the gang emerged following a split from the Peace MOD gang, splintering into several factions, one of which became the Mongolian Boys Society. Today, law enforcement identifies the Mongolian Boys Society as a violent criminal enterprise operating in Fresno and nearby Visalia. The gang has been linked to serious crimes, including deletion, sexual assault, armed robbery, drug trafficking, and extortion. Authorities also report that the Mongolian Boys Society members have, at times, been contracted by larger Asian organized crime networks to carry out violent hits, a testament to the group's reputation for brutality and their ability to operate under the radar. The Mongolian Boys Society was born in Fresno around 1988, as groups of Hmong youth began forming splinter gangs in response to violence and discrimination within their communities. Originally created for protection, the gang quickly evolved into a structured organization. Over the years, the Mongolian Boys Society has remained predominantly Hmong in membership. In fact, prison officials officially recognize it under the name Asian Mongolian Boys Society on their gang identification lists, reflecting both its ethnic makeup and its established presence within California's correctional system.
Officers say a family of more than 30 was gathered in a backyard Sunday night to watch a football game when someone snuck in and opened fire, shooting 10 people before running away. 3 men were found dead at the scene last night. A 4th died at the hospital. The 6 other people who were wounded are still in the hospital.
Sai Li, 23, Phia Vang, 31, Ku Zhang, 38, and Kalixang Tao, 40, were all gunned down as they watched football in the backyard today. At 4:19 a.m. on November 17th, the brother of a local gang member, Randy Zhang, was and is what police say incited the later events. This happened prior to the mass shooting. 16 hours after that, the shooting on Lamona Avenue in Fresno in what police believe was a retaliatory shooting. Then, on December 17th, a break in the case. Clovis PD pulled over and arrested Billy Zhang for mail theft, finding a Glock 9mm modified to fire automatically and 2 30-round magazines that have been linked. Chief Hall says all the suspects have admitted to taking part in the shooting.
Singer. Millions of fans in the Hmong music scene loved the style and voice of 23-year-old Ji Lee. He was one of 4 men Sunday night at a football party. 6 others were wounded.
On the evening of November 17, 2019, what began as a peaceful backyard football gathering in southeast Fresno quickly turned into a scene of unimaginable tragedy. 2 masked gunmen stormed the residence and opened fire into a crowd of partygoers, deleting 4 men and injuring 6 others. All of the victims were of Hmong descent. Authorities later revealed that the attack was a targeted ambush, part of a larger feud between 2 rival Asian American gangs, the Mongolian Boys Society and the Asian Crips. Law enforcement believes the shooters intended to eliminate enemies, but mistakenly targeted the wrong group. Federal court documents indicate that members of the Mongolian Boys Society convened just hours before the shooting to plan a retaliatory hit. the group selected a target residence, assigned lookout roles, and organized their plan with military-like precision. That night, the Mongolian Boys Society affiliates Pao Vang, Giovanni Delgado, and Johnny Zhang acted as lookouts while others executed the ambush. According to the Department of Justice statement, the Mongolian Boys Society shooters deleted 4 individuals and injured at least 6 others in an act of coordinated gang violence. As investigations unfolded, 7 individuals alleged members or associates of the Mongolian Boys Society were charged. 4 suspects, Gare Lee, Anthony Montes, Porge Q, and Billy Zhang, faced 8 charges including first-degree deletion with special circumstances, making them eligible for the death penalty. 3 others, Pao Vang, Delgado, and Johnny Zhang, were indicted at the federal level for racketeering and deletion conspiracy. Prosecutors stated that the deletions were carried out for the benefit of a criminal street gang. The gravity of the case drew
Porge Q was found unresponsive in his cell on June 16th. He was taken to the hospital where he died on June 20th. Q was facing the death penalty for the murder of 4 people after shots were fired into the backyard of a home in East Central Fresno. The case against Q is now dismissed because of the defendant's
national
death.
attention, especially after one of the suspects, Porge Q, was found dead in jail in 2024 while awaiting trial. Police believe the massacre was tied to an ongoing gang war. One of the 4 slain victims was allegedly a former member of the Asian Crips, and investigators suspect the shooting was revenge for a prior gang-related deletion. In response to the escalating violence, Fresno police formed a dedicated Asian gang task force aimed at curbing tensions and reducing retaliatory attacks within the Hmong community.
A man is in custody accused of shooting 2 veteran Fresno correctional officers inside a jail lobby. Those 2 officers were shot in the head and neck this morning, and they're now in the hospital. Juanita Davila, who has 18 years of experience, is now in critical but stable condition tonight. And Toamalama Scanlon, a 10-year veteran, is in critical condition. And this man, 37-year-old Tong Vang from Fresno, has been taken into custody. Police say Vang entered the jail's main lobby this morning asking to visit an inmate. Officials say when he was asked to wait his turn in line, he became agitated and started showing bizarre behavior. And that's when Officer Davila confronted him. Deputies say Vang pulled a gun out and then shot her. And as Officer Scanlon approached for backup, he was shot as well.
In September 2016, chaos erupted outside the Fresno County Jail when 2 correctional officers were suddenly shot and critically wounded. The shooter was quickly identified as Thong Vang, a man with a violent past and deep gang ties.
This was Thong Vang as he appeared in court in 1998 on charges related to the abduction, forced confinement, and rape of 3 girls aged between 12 and 14. The girls were taken to this motel in Fresno and held for 2 days, forced to have sex with multiple men and boys. Vang was then 22 and a member of the Hmong gang known as the Mongolian Boys Society. Vang and the other gang members were convicted of violent forcible rape and sent to prison. Vang was released on parole 2 years ago. Registered as a sex offender, his address was listed in this apartment complex near McKinley and West. According to the Megan's Law website, he was considered a moderate to high-risk sex offender.
Just 2 years earlier, Vang had been released on parole after serving a 16-year sentence for his role in a brutal 1998 gang rape at a Clovis Motel 6.
The motel case that sent Vang to prison led to a major investigation into the Mongolian Boys gang. Another 24 members were arrested in the coming months. They'd engaged in the abduction of several teenage girls in California and other states. The girls involved in the original case and their families were forced to relocate because of threats on their lives.
At the time of that earlier crime, Vang was only 22 and known to be affiliated with the Mongolian Boys Society, one of Fresno's most feared Hmong street gangs.
It was September of 2016 when a man high on opened fire inside the lobby of Fresno County's main jail, shooting 2 correctional officers, Juanita Davila and Toamalama Scanlon. While Officer Davila made a full recovery, Scanlon's injuries left him hospitalized for 5 years. On Tuesday, he passed away.
Knowing that he finally lost his battle is very sad.
In 2018, the shooter Tong Vang was found guilty of attempted murder and is currently serving a sentence of 112 years to life in prison.
According to investigators, Vang's 2016 actions were erratic and alarming. He reportedly attempted to enter police headquarters while armed and under the influence of drugs. When denied access, he walked directly to the nearby county jail and, without warning, opened fire, striking 2 correctional officers before surrendering at the scene. Vang later told authorities he wanted to be arrested. He now faces multiple new charges, including attempted deletion and firearms violations. Law enforcement officials consider his case a disturbing continuation of the Mongolian Boys Society-linked violence, a thread stretching from the infamous 1998 grape case all the way to this ambush-style shooting in 2016. Vang's return to the headlines served as a grim reminder of the long-term dangers posed by entrenched gang activity in Fresno's Hmong community. The story of the Mongolian Boys Society is more than just the tale of a street gang. It's a cautionary chronicle of how trauma, displacement, and marginalization can evolve into a cycle of violence that spans generations. What began as a group of young Hmong men seeking protection in the wake of refugee resettlement and community isolation quickly transformed into one of the most feared criminal organizations in California's Central Valley. From the heinous crimes of the late 1990s to the deadly 2019 backyard massacre and the chilling return of Thong Vang, the imprint of MBS on Fresno is unmistakable. For law enforcement, dismantling MBS remains an ongoing challenge, complicated by deep-rooted fear, loyalty, and silence within affected neighborhoods. For the Hmong community, the scars run even deeper, turning moments of cultural pride and family tradition into scenes of tragedy. As Fresno continues to grapple with gang violence, one thing is clear: real change will take more than arrests. It will require understanding the complex social forces that gave rise to MBS in the first place and confronting them head-on.